Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we got a bit of early info when it comes to the upcoming 4.5 characters, Aventurine and Robin. Now, admittedly, the beta is pretty close. There isn't really any reason for me to cover these things, but truthfully, I'm just bored, so I might as well make a video on this because I'm bored. It's incredibly hot over here. I don't have anything to do today personally, and yeah, so let's get straight into the actual juice that you guys want to hear. To start off, can I speak? To start us off, we have from DK2. He's pretty decently reliable. Robin SP works for Remembrance, but it's Aglaia and not Monorem. Now, in my opinion, depending on how you may take Seal leaks upcoming in a second, this is just complete hoopla. I mean, I'm not surprised. I've been saying this for so fucking long at this point. Leaker TC, no offense, is usually trash. It's usually garbage. These guys completely suck at predicting the teams that characters are supposed to be dedicated towards, and even sometimes the characters' roles themselves. Like, even Anon made a mistake in calling Sparksy a main DPS character, and he only fixed it like 2 weeks after then correcting it as sub DPS, when I already realized this literally the second her beta dropped. So Leaker TC sucks. Please keep that in mind for my more casual viewers. If you aren't as experienced in this type of scene, maybe you're a newer player, a fresher player, you automatically take these leakers' words for granted. Most of the time they are wrong, right? Unless it's like actual reliable kit info, that's fine to obviously take information from, but Leaker TC about, oh, I think this is going to be the best team, is almost always trash, right? So with that being said, let's actually get into all the leaks that Seal Leaks said. Starting off with, actually, I believe Robin can switch between attack and HP buffing depending on the situation, and she has the ability to provide action advance for teammates. So once again, this is a W for that one Red Note leaker, the guy who was getting shit on by, I think, Anon, and everybody was clowning on him, and he even quit because he got Aventurine's banner placement wrong, and then he just dropped a nuke of leaks for like the next 5 or 6 patches. Everybody thought that shit was fake, but at this point, a majority of it is actually reliable, including this. He was the first person to say that she was a HP scaler who could give action advance and had sub DPS capability, and that's exactly what's being said here. Considering the beta is only like a day away, less than a day away, before we actually see the official kit information, it's very likely that all of this is reliable and confirmed. With that being said, it is pretty impressive that he was able to predict all of that, right? Unfortunately, it's possible he might have gotten Avin a little wrong again, though. It seems like Avin has been a bit of a trouble for some of these leakers in the space, and only Anon seems to have possibly been right about it, right? So moving on from that, we go into Avin SP is an Elation main DPS whose primary damage is his Elation skills. He converts speed to Elation the exact same way Silverwolf does, and his best teammate is Yao Guang. Now, this Elation team thing isn't surprising, because if you are an Elation character and you want an Elation team, your automatic best teammate is always going to be Yao Guang. All the doom posting that this character was receiving on her release was absolutely the dumbest doom posting I've seen in the history of this game. Right. No joke. The dumbest. Recent Gilga doom posting is pretty bad, but still doesn't come anywhere near Yao Guang doom posting. So that is why I said that, unfortunately, that leaker who seems to have gotten a lot right has some issues with Avin. And it's not even just him. Every kind of reliable leaker that we had in our space outside of Anon were all pretty confident that the full Fua team was going to be a thing with Avin and Ashblade, but given just this information, if there really isn't any other context missing, unfortunately, Avin does not go in a Fua team. He just has his own Elation team instead, and the Fua team might actually prefer Robin, right? Oh, why is that? Well, let's get into it right now. Another leak from Seal, Robin SP's skill synergizes well with the Fua team, and in fact, it's one of her mainly recommended teams by Hoyo, since she likes buffs for her own damage and frequent actions via Seal. Well, why does she appreciate frequent actions? Well, there's another thing from Seal here. Robin SP regenerates energy whenever allies take action, and she's also a speed buffer. So, with everything said so far, Robin seems like an absolute unit, kind of similar, maybe possibly in value, to Emblade, maybe even possibly higher, depending on how powerful this action advance ends up being, because she's able to passively gain energy from allies simply taking frequent actions. She's a speed buffer, she can have buffs for attack, she can have buffs for HP, she has her own sub DPS damage, she fits in basically a ton of a variety of teams that this game has to offer. So she does seem to be a very, very, very high value unit just from what I'm reading here. And I'd imagine her early Eidolons and stuff like that, given that she's a sub DPS / support type, probably similar to Evernight. Her E1 and E2 jump are also probably going to be quite good, quite juicy, and she just has a lot of good teams going for her. If this is all true, the Fua team is now going to use probably Robin SP in that third slot instead of Gilgamesh and instead of Tribi, right? And obviously instead of Avin, if unfortunately it's true that he's mainly dedicated towards an Elation team and he doesn't really have any synergy with a Fua team. So that's the state of Robin currently. She's seeming like an absolutely disgustingly powerful unit with a wide variety of buffs and synergy with teams, which I imagine is going to have a lot of demand for her for a lot of people out there. A lot of people have been complaining about Aglaia being one of the more shafted Amphoreus DPSs among that entire roster. So now Aglaia getting a buff through Robin SP is pretty nice, right? On top of this, Evernight main DPS wanners, depending on how good the synergy is, well, the same thing would kind of go here. Evernight main DPS wanners would replace RMC with likely Robin SP, and the speed buffing from Robin SP is very, very highly synergistic with specifically Cyrene and as well as Hyacine, right? So you can see a lot of teams are now going to open up and change with the release of Robin SP. Now, of course, if you have multiple teams that want Robin SP, I'm sorry for you. You know, there's nothing you can do about that at the end of the day. Those things just happen sometimes. But it's a great thing that she seems to be so universally great for so many teams, because that means a lot of people out there are going to be able to upgrade in older DPS that they've invested into, and they won't have to feel like, oh, you know, my Aglaia fell off, she didn't get that good of treatment. It's kind of sad. I really wish she got better treatment. She was better these days. It's getting harder to use her without vertically investing so much. This should definitely be a huge boon for people who have a older DPS who synergizes quite well with Robin SP. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Are you excited for Robin SP? Are you excited for Aventurine? Of course, when the actual official beta comes out and the kit info is out, I will make a video and I'll try to explain it as well as I can. Usually a bit of a more TLDR-esque video, since getting into the nitty-gritty, 99% of people don't really understand if you just text-to-speech what's exactly in front of you, right? Look forward to that. Hope you all have a great day. Hope you all have a great night. Himiko's patches soon. Can't wait to actually try and pull Himiko on some of my accounts. And peace out.